Straight real quick. Okay. So, before I came here today, I was on Facebook. Anybody here on Facebook? Yeah. Thought so. It's really cool. I like it. I checked it a lot. But I don't always like what some people do on Facebook. Like, one thing that a lot of people do, I hate people that like their own statuses. It is so stupid. Because if I do it, this is how it would look to my friends on Facebook. It would be my name, James Howley. Then the status, for example, performing at Tap Room tonight, so excited. Then James Howley likes this. I'm James Howley. Of course I fucking like it! If I didn't like it, I wouldn't say it! It's so stupid when people do that, and people do it all the time. But Facebook is good, to keep in contact with friends, that you know. And, I like to keep in contact with my friends, but my friends aren't the smartest people in the world. I told my one friend the first time that I was doing comedy, he didn't understand what I meant by comedy, so I had to say, stand-up comedy, and he was like, dude, you can stand up? I told him yes, and he thinks this whole wheelchair thing is a part of my comedy act. It's not, guys. And another, since a lot of comics have talked about having black friends, I'll talk about my one black friend. And unlike a lot of other people that started off by saying that this joke is not racist, I'm not even going to lie, this joke's a little racist. So, whenever I see my one black friend, we're extremely racist to each other for the first 5 seconds that we see each other, because he's black, I'm Asian. Whenever I see him, I say the most stereotypical black thing I can think of when I see him, and he says the most stereotypical Asian thing he can think of when he sees me. So when I see him, I'm like, yo, what's up, Tyrone? His name's not Tyrone. And when he sees me, he's like, yo, what's up, Chang? My name's not Chang. And the other day when I saw him, I was like, yo, what's up, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? And he replied by saying, what's up, $15 pedicure? Nice to see you too, sir. And at least he doesn't make fun of the fact that I'm in a wheelchair, because obviously you guys can see that I'm in a wheelchair. I've been in a wheelchair my whole life. And I have no problem making fun of myself, making handicap jokes. I do it all the time. I like to do it in times when people least expect it. Like if somebody's asking me, how am I feeling? I go, with my hands, because I can't below the waist. Or, it's okay, you can laugh, I'm used to it. And, if, people talk about how cold it is outside, when you guys are bitching about the cold, I'll go outside and I'll say, yeah, it really is cold out here, I can't feel my feet. Trust me, it gets worse. When I was younger and I first thought I could actually do comedy, I wanted to try out for this one show that's been canceled now, called Last Comic Standing. I don't think I would have done so well. And one of the hardest parts about being in a wheelchair as a kid was trying to adapt and do things the same, but a little bit different because of my handicap. I went to summer camp. Did anybody here go to summer camp as a kid? Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Your childhood must have sucked, the one that said no. So I went to summer camp, but the summer camp that I went to, I affectionately like to call now as crippled camp, because it was a camp for physically and mentally handicapped kids. And I hated it, because after I went there every day, eventually I got to the point where I just wanted to hit a retard in the fucking face. And that's exactly what I did one time. I'm not proud of it. I actually think I'm going to hell for it. But I told one of my friends that I did that, and he was like, well, at least it was a fair fight. It was really supportive of us. I was like, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And another place that I don't like to go is malls. I try to go, because it's convenient, but I get stared at a lot. By adults and little kids. And adults aren't that bad, because if they stare at me, I'm going to use you as an example, sir, even though you're not looking at me. They'll kind of have to look at me for the stare to work. So an adult will look at me, and then they'll look away. But kids are the worst, because they'll stare, like I'll awkwardly stare at you right now. And then if they're walking in front of me, they'll turn their whole body around, continue to look at me, and then walk backwards and stare at me while we're in the mall. And it's really, really annoying and embarrassing. And if a adult looks at me for a second, I'll stare until they, look the other way. But if a kid stares at me that long, I'll act tough in front of a kid. I'll be like, what? I'll want to fight a little kid in the mall. It's so embarrassing. Shouldn't have stared. And this time you won't hit your ankles ran over. That's my song. Thanks, guys.